You ever have one of those brilliant ideas, but you just can't find the words to explain it? Yeah, we've all been there. You know your project is important, but getting other people to see it, to get on board, it feels impossible. Well, today we're going to fix that.
I mean, how many times have you been in a meeting, just buzzing with excitement about something new, and you're met with, well, crickets? Just those polite nods and blank stares? That moment right there, when your passion is sky high but the clarity just isn't there, that's probably the single biggest hurdle to getting anything important off the ground.
But what if I told you there's a kind of secret formula to cut right through all that confusion? A really clear, repeatable framework that just works every single time. It exists, and it's got just three parts. First, you set the context. Second, you find the gap. And third, you show the significance. I'm telling you, by the end of this explainer, you'll have a tool that's going to completely change the way you communicate your big ideas.
Okay, let's dive right in. Our first building block here is all about laying the foundation. See, before you can even begin to explain why your idea is the answer, everyone in the room has to agree on the reality of the problem. And that's exactly what setting the context is for.
Think of it like the opening scene of a movie. You're setting the stage, right? You're showing everyone what the world looks like right now. It's like that opening text crawl in Star Wars. It doesn't start with the hero. It starts by telling you the galaxy is in turmoil. It establishes the current situation and, more importantly, what's fundamentally wrong with it. So let's look at how this works in the real world with two totally different examples. For our India case, the current situation is pretty stark. High unemployment among educated young people. So what's wrong? The college programs are all about theory, not the practical skills you actually need for a job. Now, let's switch gears to the US example. The situation is that health education really needs to start including oral health. What's wrong with that? Well, the faculty themselves were never actually trained to teach it. See? In both cases, we've painted a super clear picture of reality and the problem sitting right inside of it. All right, let's move on to our second step and see how this all connects. Once you've established the what is and the what's wrong, it's time to zoom in. It's time to pinpoint that one missing piece of the puzzle. This is what we call finding the knowledge gap. Now, this knowledge gap, it isn't just the problem in a general sense. No, it's way more precise than that. It's the one specific piece of information, or the one perspective, or the one bit of understanding that we just don't have yet. This is where you come in. The knowledge gap is the very specific question that your project is designed to answer. Now, check this out. This simple little sentence on your screen is an incredibly powerful template. Let me just say it out loud. While blank is known, blank is unknown. Seriously, this sentence is a game changer. It forces you to get crystal clear about what we already understand, and then it shines a giant spotlight on the exact piece of the puzzle that's still a mystery. Okay, let's put that template to work. For our India example, while we know that a lack of practical skills is a major cause of this problem, what's unknown is how to actually implement a better medical-style training model in other fields. You see how focused that is? Now for the US example. While we know about the general barriers to changing the curriculum, what's unknown are the specific, day-to-day experiences of the faculty who are on the front lines trying to make it happen. This just zeroes in on the exact focus of your work so perfectly. And that brings us to our final and, you could argue, the most important step, showing the significance. This is where you answer that ultimate question that you're going to get from any audience, any investor, any boss, which is, so what? Why should I care? So here's the deal. Significance has to be concrete. It can't be vague. You really need to answer three key questions. First, what's the scope? Like, how big is this problem really? Second, what are the consequences if we do nothing? And third, what is the unique contribution your work is going to make to fix it? Sometimes a single number tells the entire story. For that Indian unemployment issue, we're talking about 25 million students. Let that sink in. That's every single year. A number like that just immediately transforms the problem from some abstract concept into a massive, urgent, human-scale crisis. And what if we just do nothing? Well, the consequences are pretty severe. In India, unemployment just keeps rising. That skills gap becomes a chasm, and the country's whole economic future is at risk. And in the US, a whole generation of doctors and nurses will be unequipped to handle a major public health issue. This is where you raise the stakes. This is where you make your audience feel that urgency. Okay, so we've got our three powerful ingredients: context, gap, and significance. Now for the magic trick. Let's see how we can combine them into one single, seamless, and really persuasive problem statement.
So we'll start with our Indian youth unemployment case. And this wasn't just some academic exercise. This was a real-world project trying to tackle a massive national problem. And the way they framed it? Absolute clarity. And here it is, the finished product. Listen to this. Unemployment among educated youth in India remains high because most programs focus on theory. This study will explore how a medical-style final-year training model can be implemented to improve employability and reduce graduate unemployment. Did you catch the pieces? The context is high unemployment because of theory-based learning. The gap is exploring how to implement this new model. And the significance is right there. To improve employability for millions, it's just perfect. Okay, now let's look at the U.S. healthcare example. Again, let's just take in the full statement. With faculty struggling to integrate oral health into curricula, and while leadership barriers are known, the experiences of frontline faculty are not. Understanding their experiences is crucial to equipping future providers to address the nation's oral health crisis. Let's break it down one last time. The context, faculty are struggling. The gap, we know about leadership barriers, but we don't know about that frontline experience. And the significance, this is absolutely crucial to solving a national health crisis. It's all there, all woven into a single compelling story.
So there you have it. Context, gap, significance. It's a simple, but man, is it an effective framework for defining any problem with precision and power. The formula is all yours now, so go out there, find a problem that really matters to you, and use this framework to make a real difference. The only question left is, what problem are you going to define next?